It's our reality, just your average family, trying to be normal and stay out of trouble, living a double life.
What's up? They've got Thurman's Season 3, Episode 2 on the Straight and Arrow. This episode starts off at the Thurman house, and Cherry is talking to Dr. Colosso. Yeah, I told you they make Cherry a now prominent character now. Now that she knows their secret, she's now going to become a main. She's now going to become a main character. Cherry's talking to Dr. Colosso, saying, "How since he's been a bunny, is it weird going to the bathroom in front of people?" Colosso says he doesn't go in front of people. Oh wait, he does. See ya. Then Phoebe comes in with chocolate milk. Yeah, I love chocolate milk. But Cherry says she thought they were gonna have milkshakes. So Phoebe freezes her freeze breath on the milkshake, and Cherry says she loves having best friends with superpowers. Max shows up on the phone saying, "Sir, they'll be there. Four below average, and nameless band. Kids and nameless band would never let the sir down." Max says he is booked a gig on Friday, and then he says to celebrate, he's gonna steal their milkshakes. Phoebe says she can keep it, and she may telekinesis to make Max fall. Says jokes on Phoebe, he's gonna just drink his shirt. Cherry says they love playing superhero games. Then Chloe teleports in saying, "Yay!" And then they scaring both Cherry and Phoebe. Cherry says how she misses Chloe's baby bubble power, and Phoebe says about how ever since Chloe got teleporting, that's all she does, and it's killing Barb and Hank. And Barb comes downstairs saying she found Chloe. Yeah. Saying she found Chloe. Hank says Barb says Chloe has to stop teleporting all over their house. Barb says, I know it's fun. She knows it's fun for Chloe, but Hank and Barb have trouble keeping up with Chloe. She can, but Hank can't. Okay, Barb, this is season 3, and now you're starting with roasting your own husband? Wow. Chloe says, Daddy's slow. And Barb says, you know what might keep Chloe from teleporting? And Barb puts Chloe on Hank's back, and Chloe says, airplane ride. And Hank says, once more around the world, and that's it. Thunderman, feeling his age. And they fly away. He and Chloe fly away, and Cherry says she guesses she has to go back to her boring house where nobody has power. Phoebe says, come on, Cherry's house is fun too. She has a look, magic door. And then Cherry says she loves it. Use her telekinesis, and Cherry says so fun. And Barb says if Phoebe keeps showing off her powers to Cherry, Cherry might be tempted to take advantage of Phoebe. Phoebe says Cherry's not like that. And Cherry says the sun made her bikesy hot, so can Phoebe use her cooled off with her cold spit? And Phoebe says it's freeze breath. And she says she has so much to learn. Barb says last one, she promises. And Barb asks for Hank says Barb, and Barb says where's Chloe? And Hank says he sat her down to grab some churros, and then when he turned around she teleported. And then we see Chloe in a chair saying because Daddy's slow. Okay, just saying, Chloe's a great addition to this cast. But after the opening, so they go over to pick her up. I don't know where she got. I guess when she teleported, the chair teleported with her, which is cool. But that's never happened before. It didn't even have. I guess when she teleported, the chair teleported with her. Oh, we never found out what happened at the end of the last episode with Billy and the egg plot. Barb says she'll call Dr. Ouch, and that's how it ends. And they never call back to that. So it's so weird that in this episode, the family portrait that they had the entire show changes to feature Chloe, but they never show them doing it. It's just done. in the opening it changed, would make sense. But in the show, they already have it changed by this episode. It wasn't changed in the last episode. It changed during this episode, but I don't know how they changed it. They must have took a picture off screen. But anyway, after the opening, in the A plot, at the end of the high, Cherry tells Phoebe that the best thing happened to her this morning. Phoebe says her brother forgave her for accidentally flushing his goldfish, and Phoebe says shush. She didn't talk about Phoebe's big secret. Phoebe shouldn't talk about Cherry's. And then Phoebe says she's sorry. She feels bad for that goldfish. Cherry, what? Which is kind of funny. Phoebe asks Cherry what happened this morning, and Cherry says her mom found made her an appointment to take her driver's test. And Phoebe's like, oh my gee, Phoebe's gonna take your driver's test? Then Max comes up saying, oh my gee, Cherry, you're gonna take your driver's test? Take Phoebe with you. I love Max. And Max leaves. That's Phoebe says she thought Cherry's parents weren't gonna let Cherry take the driver's test until Cherry PE. And Cherry says all she has to do is hit a target in archery. Phoebe says Cherry's horrible at archery. They call Cherry the girl who's terrible at archery. Cherry says that she has a friend like Phoebe. She has a friend, Phoebe, who has superpowers who can help her with archery. Phoebe says, right, she loves her powers. Then we see Max's band when Principal Bradford says, hey, 5 seconds of dumber. Okay, just that's funny. Them calling back to 5 Seconds of Summer which is a band I used to really like, so that's super funny. Read the 5 Seconds of Dumber. Read the sign down front. No skateboards, carts, or snow sleds. Wolfgang says, this isn't the toboggans. Bradford says, Wolfgang is the reason why he voted against the foreign exchange student program. Max walks by and Bradford says, Thunderman. Max says, Bradford. And he just leaves. Max says, he thought they were loading all of their equipment into Wolfgang's car. Oyster says, yeah, there's a problem with that. There's a problem about that. Oyster's car's in Germany. Wolfgang says, vroom's in. Vroom's in Deutschland. Max says they need that car to get to their gig. Oyster says, the band's a mess. They don't speak the same language. They don't have a car. And they had to sell for Gideon. And Gideon says, what? Understand about that. Gideon is a perv. Max says, no one's more upset about Gideon than him. Okay, again, I love Max. And Max says he might know where they can get a car. Cherry says she's got to get off campus. So, she's got to get across campus. So she asks Phoebe to turn the clock back so the bell doesn't ring yet. And Phoebe says she's starting to think they should talk about a little bit more careful about how they use her powers. Then Max says, you need the clock turned back a bit, and he does it. And Cherry says, you're awesome, Max. And Max says, I hear you're getting a car. It's not in another country, right? And they walk away, with Phoebe feeling a bit suspicious. Meanwhile, in the B plot, Hank says Chloe is wearing him out, and Barb says she knows. Between the crying and between the teleporting and the crying, Barb can't take it anymore. Hank says he only cries because he's tired. And Billy asks if they're okay because Barb says, here's some orange juice, but it's actually marble. And Billy says, are they okay? Because they poured him marble. And Hank says, Hank is putting jelly on an element. But Hank cries saying, he's so sorry. Barb says, they're just fine, they're just a little tired. And tells them to eat their pancakes. Nora says, they only have pancakes on Saturdays. And Barb says, That's what it is. And Barb says that's why she made him. And Nora says that they think it's Saturday when it's Thursday. Even though it's actually Monday when I'm coming out with this video. So yeah. Billy says, get to the point. The marbles won't stay fresh forever. Nora says that's the point, is that they have a free day off school. Billy says they can do whatever they want, but it's your school. Nora says no, they don't have to go to school. It's like snow day, but without the snow. And lots of pancakes. Billy says, this feels so wrong. Then cuts to them eating oranges, saying, but it feels so right. He ate 100 pancakes this morning. Nora says, you only ate 7. And Billy says, Billy doesn't do math. Phoebe almost tells Nora that she's Barb home from school, but Nora stops her, saying she's home from whatever Saturday activity she was at. And Barb says, and Phoebe says, what are they up to? And Phoebe says, and Barb says, Billy says that Hank and Barb think it's Saturday, so he and Nora stayed home. And Phoebe says, oh, Chloe's got them baby brain. Chloe's given them baby brain. So the same thing happened when Billy was born. But she went to school anyway. What is wrong with her? Yeah. Then cut to, I guess, in the same scene, even though it's supposed to be a plot scene. Cut to the same scene where Phoebe is telling Max to use his heat spit to build up some popcorn. Phoebe says she thought she and Cherry were going to walk home from school together. Cherry says they got to leave early when they canceled their history class after Max melted the teacher's laptop. Phoebe says, that old trick. And Cherry says, you've done it before? Phoebe says, no, but I know it's an old trick. Cherry says they also went to the mall and Max uses telekinesis to pants Monka. Max says they came up with a special handshake. And Phoebe says, yeah. And then Phoebe tries to do the handshake with them. But Max says, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's why it's called a Max does a secret handshake. Yeah. Then they do their... Max says, whoa, 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 it's a secret. Then Phoebe says she was thinking she and Cherry could practice archery so Cherry could pass PE tomorrow and get that license. But Phoebe says, sorry, but Max is gonna hide in the bushes during class and use telekinesis to help her at the target. Cherry says, and then she says, that's her mom, and leaves. And Max says, minivan score! Meanwhile, in the B plot, Nora says it's day 2 of their bonus weekend. Billy says nothing says Sunday like French toast and more marbles. Barb and Hank show up and Barb says something's not right. And Billy says they look like they got dressed in the dark. And Nora says he's just joking. Everything's right. Breakfast is right. They look right. The most right Sunday ever. And Hank says there is something wrong. The gardener hasn't shown up yet. And Barb says she's going to call him. The gardener says she'll wait. Barb says the gardener always comes on Sunday. She'll give him a call. But Nora's like, no. Wait. He's already shown up. You already called him. And then Barb's like, that Hank? And Hank says, I just don't know. Barb leaves with a crying Hank. And Barb says, there, Hank, and they leave. So Billy says, this is not Sunday. The gardener's not coming. They're going to get caught. Nora says, no, they're not. They just got to mow, blow, and go, which coming from me sounds good, but coming from Nora just sounds weird. Yeah, I've realized that Nora's actress has a lot of weird lines in these seasons. Like, yeah, she has a lot of weird lines. So, like, when she said Thursday and when she said mow, blow, and go, like, that was so weird. Billy says, who are they and who are Mo, Blue, and Go, and how are they going to help us? Then cut to Billy pretending to be the gardener, and Barb says, "Hey, Oscar," and Billy just gives a thumbs up, and they don't bat an eye because they think it's just the gardener. And Nora says, "They're really pulling up." Billy says, "There is no more Billy, there is only Oscar." Meanwhile, in the A plot, at Himville High, Cherry's at her archery scene because this is what I use for this video. Where Phoebe's in the bushes and where the gym teacher is so the best. The archery teacher is so the best. He says, "Who's standing up?" And then Cherry's like, "It's her." And he's like, "Oh, Cherry." He's the best. I'm sad we never see this archery guy again, but he's just the best. The actor was having fun. Yeah, Phoebe. Yeah. Max says she should just left. Yeah, we know. Okay, Cherry's at archery. Max says, and tells Max to stop and step aside. He's helping Cherry. Max says, no, he's helping. Tells her to pass. He's help. Phoebe tells Max to stop stealing her friend, and Max says she can have him back once he's done getting her that car. When he can have Cherry back, she can have Cherry back once he uses her to get for her car. Max says Phoebe's distracted, and we use this scene where Cherry's able to get the right arrow. Archie guy's like, "You pass, you get a C," and because Phoebe is so overachieving, she thinks that Cherry doesn't deserve a C, and then she says, watches her real best friend gets her an A, even though Cherry's literally saying to the bushes that she's okay with that C. Max can fight with her telekinesis, which causes Cherry's arrow to hit Bradford's foot. Bradford says, "Cherry, you get detention," Cherry says that she has a driver's test. And Bradford says he used to have a foot before becoming a shish kebab. She confronts Phoebe and Max over this. Phoebe says it was her fault, but Cherry says it was you, even though she didn't. And Phoebe says she was just trying to help, and then Cherry says, "Look where that's got her. Look how that turned out." Max, and then in the lockers, Max says Phoebe should just left it alone when he told her, but no, she's Phoebe, and every one of her friends has to get. She's Phoebe, and every one of her friends has to get A's like her. And then Phoebe says, "But I'm Max, and I'm gonna get hit by a book." And Max is like, "What?" And then Phoebe used telekinesis to get Max hit by a book. Phoebe says thanks to him, her friend's in detention and can't take her driver's test. It's gonna take months to reschedule. Max says, "Months, oh? Good thing he's got his best guys working on the plan B to get him to the gig tonight." Oyster says, "Okay, Max, Wolfgang's got 100 balloons outside." And Gideon says they're gonna tie the balloons to their band equipment and float everything to their gig. Then Wolfgang says, "Look out then!" And well, I'm very able to do a good Wolfgang impression. And Max says, "Go get Wolfgang. They can't be looking for a new car and a new drummer." Yeah, they already lost Angus. They don't be losing Wolfgang too. And Max and the band leave. Phoebe says she can break Cherry out of detention. It's not like it's a prison. And then we see Cherry and a bunch of other detainees in orange prison jumpsuits. Phoebe tells Bradford that this is unfair, and Bradford's like, "Oh, don't you ever go home?" Phoebe says she's gonna help Cherry she's gonna help Cherry. Cherry said, don't. She's gonna get Phoebe and Cherry into more trouble. Bradford gives Cherry 2 weeks detention just for talking to a Thunderman. Cherry says see, and Bradford says 3 days, and Phoebe says she'll get her to that driver's test, and Cherry says stop talking to her, and Bradford says 4 days, and then Meanwhile, in the B plot, Hank is chasing after Chloe, and Hank asks Oxer to take down the hornet's nest. Chloe says, "Daddy, chase me," and Hank says, "Yay, more running!" Like, it is showing that having a fifth kid is literally taking a toll on this man. Billy tells Nora to go faster, and Nora says, and Nora says she wears the pants. She'll walk as fast as she wants. Billy says maybe it's the fresh air, but he just realized if today is fake Sunday, then tomorrow is fake Monday. That means they have to go to school on real Saturday. They have to go to school on real Saturday. And Nora says he's right. How is skipping school making Billy smarter? Billy says he wishes they could just go back in time and tell Hank and Barb the truth on what day it is. Nora says maybe there is a way to go back, and Billy says good, because he just knocked out a hornet's nest, and they sound really mad. The hornets attack them, with Hank and Barb seeing the gardener split in half. But they don't question why the gardener has the other half of the gardener has a bow on its head. They don't question that. They don't. Meanwhile, in the A plot, in detention, we see Bradford reading an Electric comic, which is kind of good because it's kind of weird because he hates the Thundermans, but he likes reading an Electric. He hates the Thundermans, but he likes reading comics about their mom. I know he doesn't know who Electress is, but it's just kind of funny that he read comics about Thunderman's mom, even though he hates the Thundermans themselves. Phoebe comes in, she sneaks in, scaring Cherry, but Cherry tells Bradford that she has a hangnail, and Bradford says he has her toe. She says she's going to use her powers to spill water on Bradford. He goes dry off and they duck out. But Cherry says that's not water, and Phoebe spills it on Bradford, but Cherry says that's hot tea. And Bradford says his toe hurts. It hurts worse than opening his paycheck. Then he bends down and sees Phoebe and says, "Phoebe, what are you doing here?" He says, "Phoebe, what are you doing here?" And Phoebe says she came to check on his toe and clean the floor of their belly. Then cut to Phoebe in a prison orange jumpsuit. And Bradford says, "Let him know when she's done cleaning her chair with her butt." Phoebe says, "Why does she have to be in detention?" Bradford says, "Because you never go home." 2 days of detention. Phoebe says, "Then she'll just be here more." Then Bradford says, "Okay, 1 day." Meanwhile, in the B plot, Hank says Chloe is finally sleeping, so now they can get some rest. Nora says they're sleeping, time to wake them up, but they don't even conscience Chloe. So, yeah, they just decided to wake Hank and Barb up with not even thinking what waking Barb up will do to Chloe. So, yeah, they're kind of jerks. So, yeah. They wake him up with a trip to the past and tell Closter to hit it. Closter says, "Don't tell him what to do his job," and rumbling starts he presses the button and rumbling starts happening, and Hank says, "Is this the end, Barb? Hold him." And Nora says, "What happened?" And Billy says, "Max's time machine blew up." And Nora says, "It seems like they went back in time. It's Friday again." And Hank says, "Friday?" And turns on the news to see a news anchor say it's Friday. I think they paid that guy. To say it's Friday. I don't know how Billy and Nora bribed a news anchor to say it's Friday for them, but they just did. That's my theory. Nora says Max does unbelievable things. Anyway, they'll be outside. Barb literally knows that they says, are they gonna ground them for making them pretend like it's weekend? Hank says, "Nah, as long as they didn't wake up Chloe." Then Chloe says, "Mommy," and then they're like, "Okay, they're grounded." So I guess Hank goes up to put Chloe back to sleep. We never find out what happens to that, and the Billy and Nora plot is just gone. We don't know if they get in trouble for waking up Chloe or nothing. This is just where their plot ends, which is very rushed. Chloe just says "Mommy," and then Hank just goes up to put her back to bed. That's it. Nothing else happens with the B plot. Anyway, meanwhile in the A plot, back in detention, Phoebe says she's been in detention before. She hasn't been in detention before. Cherry says her neither, And Bradford says, no chit-chat. And Phoebe says, Phoebe is so worse than Matt. He can't stand that guy. Then Matt shows up. And Bradford says, why? And he says, hey, Bradford. He says, missed you too, Bradford. Want to know what he did? Bradford says, don't care. Grab a jumpsuit. So Max grab an orange. Grab orange. And then Max says, hey, Cherry, I know we're going to have to break you out. Cherry says, I don't want to listen to you. And then Max says, okay, here's the plan to break you out. I love Max. Wow. There was technically no I love Chloe in this moment, because technically she's not even in this episode for half of it. She only has like one scene and then that's it. At least in the next episode she has a bigger plot to do, but in this episode she just has like one scene and then that's it. At least next episode Chloe has a much bigger story, but in this episode she kind of just does nothing. Yeah, the next episode is more of a Chloe, Nora, and Billy B plot, but yeah. In this episode, she just has two scenes. One where she's scared, I think the funny part was my I love Chloe moment would have been where she ate the churro because we don't even know whatever happens to that churro, but I guess R.I.P. churro because she ate it. But anyway, yeah. But anyway, aside from that, yeah. Cherry says, Max says, here's the plan. This is what they're going to do. Imagine the panic if they slip the lid off that tarantula. Bradford says, hey! And Max says, oh right, you forgot about the no chit-chat rule. Again, I love Max. Yeah. Bradford says, Max is sitting next to him till the tension is over. And Max asks Bradford, did his parents ever buy that condo? Bradford says, yeah, the seller finally agreed for the fence. Now shut your trap hole. Now shut your mouth hole. Phoebe says she's so sorry about this. She thought she was losing Cherry and Max because she wasn't using her powers for Cherry's benefit. And Cherry says, Phoebe, they were best friends before she even knew she had superpowers. Besides, and that'll never change. Besides, she shouldn't have kept asking Phoebe to use her power. She'll never get any good anything if she has the Thunder Twins. If she has the Thunder Twins do everything for her. Phoebe says, yeah, they don't call them that. They don't call themselves that. And Phoebe's, except for them, apparently later President Kickbutt. Only Cherry and President Kickbutt called them the Thunder Twins. Cherry says they should, and yeah, her and also President Kickbutt do. And Cherry says she's gonna. Phoebe asks what. Cherry says she has an idea. Cherry says she has an idea. Phoebe asks what is Cherry doing, and Cherry says she's gonna fix this mess herself. If she can free the tarantula, they can get out. Them, not the tarantula. Phoebe says, how is Cherry gonna free that thing from here? Cherry says, with her mini bow and arrow. And Phoebe says, of course, because you're good with an actual bow and arrow. Phoebe says she can use her telekinesis, but Cherry says no more superpowers. She has to do it on her own. Cherry fires the pencil, but it somehow hits Bradford's foot instead. Either the trajectory or Bradford's just a magnet for things hurting his foot. Yeah. Phoebe says his toe is like a magnet. Then Bradford scares himself enough that he falls into a trash can, and then the tarantula leaps out. Then they start taking pictures, and Bradford says, okay, here makes a deal. No pictures equals no detention. They're like, cool, and they leave. But then we see Bradford saying, hey, come on, help him. But then we see the tarantula's on Bradford's foot, and Bradford says, bite me, he dares. And then we hear Bradford scream. Meanwhile, the DMV, Max, his band, Phoebe, and everyone are watching Cherry take her driver's test. But Cherry crashes the car. And Nora says they can still make the gift if they run. And they run away. Cherry says, okay, that curb came out of nowhere. And Phoebe says, to be fair, curbs don't really come out of nowhere. And then we see, then they crash. The band crashes, and Wolfgang says, "Not now's to end the episode." Okay, that was a good episode, even though I wish Chloe could have had more to do. I know next episode she has a bigger storyline with Billy and Nora, and then the next episode after that, I think she also has a big story with Billy and Nora. I think she's more grouped with Billy and Nora now. But aside from that, this was an okay episode. It proves that they're finding more for Cherry to do in this show now that she knows the Thunderman's secret, and they're giving more for Cherry to do now she knows the Thunderman's secret. And also, I still like that archery guy. Oh, great. Cherry. I loved him. I wish that we could have saw more of him. He was hilarious. And Bradford. Yeah. But next episode, we get the return of Link. We get an A plot with Link and a B plot with Billy, Nora, Chloe, Hank, and Barb. I told you Barb's going to become more of a B plot gown. I think this is episode 3 is the start of B plot Barb, where she and Phoebe no longer have interactions anymore. I think we'll have to go check it out. But anyway, that's it for this video, and I'll see you next time when we check out the next episode. Why you bugging? I'll see you next time. And also, yeah, we still have one count on the I Love Chloe counter, 1 count on the Chloe's baby counter, catchphrase counter, and 3 on the I Love Max for season 3 counter. Yeah, I think we'll get another I Love Chloe counter next time. I don't know when we'll get another baby counter, Chloe's catchphrase, but we do have 3 on the I Love Max counter for this season. So anyway, I'll see you next time.